Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the YouTube account and we have a lot of things to do. Been falling behind with the AFK content just a little bit. We had a lot of things going on this weekend, a lot of things that are coming up. And of course, it's less than a month till back to school. So kind of crazy to think of that. But as you can see, we did pick up our Ibis. So we did get the avatar frame and also the animated avatar. Pretty cool for 99 cents to go ahead and pick that up. And if you checked over AFK Arena on Facebook, they have some really cool things over there. Now, of course, when I hop in here, we want to run through the dailies, but I also want to go through some of the event progression because unfortunately, like I said, I haven't had the ability to go in here and do any of that. What is going on, Jordan? Thanks for joining us for the stream. Now, going through here, there is, of course, the solo strummer, which one of the skins is purchased, which is Lava Tune. The other one is free, which is Rain. But overall, with the Summer Odyssey, this is where we have really been lacking. I only went through the first 2 days, which we completed in their entirety. And going in here, of course, not only are you going to get the skin, but you're also going to get some resources. And if you've also done the Voyage of Wonder that we have right now for land, there's a lot coming out. Now, of course, in addition, a lot of players were kind of questioning the Awakened Heroes. The Awakened Hero should be right around the corner because when you think every 2 to 3 months, you figure we're already in August, we're already going into the second week of August, meaning we don't have a very long runway till December, which means I would say maybe the next hero, maybe the one after that, is essentially going to be the point where we're going to get our next hero, our next Awakened Hero, which is either going to be the Wilder Hero or it is going to be the Graveborn Hero. We're going to have to see exactly what it does look like just based on where we're at. Now, of course, we have 2 of our crystal chests already. These are what we're trying to get when it comes to building out Lan and when it comes to building out Gwen, when it comes to building out Hildwyn. Majority of players just still kind of disappointed because they're not going to have the ability. What's going on? Simon and Primo are here as well. But with the cost, that literally the sheer cost of these Draconic heroes, I know they had kind of talked in the dev notes that they were looking at possibly doing something, maybe making an adjustment, kind of making a change. I don't know exactly what they're going to do. And I don't know, did this get stuck? It almost looks like it got stuck here. This has happened a couple times. I don't know what's going on, like what with the adventure. But I know a couple players have said the exact same, that it is just literally getting stuck. I don't know what it is. And you can see that Lan is still moving in here. That's a good question. I might have to escape out of this and actually just go ahead and close this out. I don't know what it's doing. And again, a lot of players have been saying they've been having some issues with loading, having some issues with the events, having some issues with what's going on. Yeah, and that's what, again, Primo, I'm not sure if you had the exact same thing and what's going on. Alfredus and Anime King as well. Yeah, a lot of players have said that when they're going to new zones within the new content or within the event, they've been getting stuck. Now, of course, we got some more Draconic insignias. We also got the ability to hopefully get another copy of Gwen. We are 3 copies away from getting Gwen built, which again, kind of stinks because I don't even think we're really close to getting Gwen. As much as I would love to pull, you know, a double or a triple, it'd be kind of crazy. What's going on, Withered Milk? Thank you guys for joining us for the stream. All right, so there we go. So yeah, it did just get stuck at the beginning point. And again, I've heard that from a couple. How could an outsider be in the Dreamwood? There is Tassie. Who are you? Now, this makes me wonder. So guys, having Tassie in here, I'm wondering because she is not supposed to be here. A lot of players are kind of speculating that Tassie is going to be the next Awakened Hero. Would be interesting to see if they did a form of Tassie restored to the original origin. This must be the path. Let's figure out the direction. I'm going to go ahead and take out these camps, and they do go down pretty quick. What is going on, Yoshi? Yeah, again, it'll be interesting to see if they are or they end up doing Tassie. A lot of people wanted to see Iran. I know that's been a question. Looking at Orin, looking again, I don't know. So I'm thinking we have to turn these and we have the ability to interact which way we want them to go. Wow, this is going to be a big puzzle in here. Let's see what we got. Let's take out some of these so we can get to these chests. But guys, if you got any questions, if you got anything, go ahead and drop them in chat. This is actually the team that they kind of dropped in here. If you caught the other video, I just run kind of whatever through here. A Warrior Awakened Wilder. Primo, are you thinking maybe like a Saurus? What do you think about a Saurus? What would you guys feel if we had a Warrior Awakened? What if it was Solise? I don't know if they would do a tank. That was another question that we kind of had. And then, of course, depending on who they give us in the Wilder faction, what at that point would the graveborn look like? Would we think maybe the graveborn is one that's going to be possibly looking at like a Grez, or possibly looking at another hero kind of similar to that? It would be pretty interesting to see if they did a tank or if we did a second one. What is this little thing? A strange acorn is here to interact. That didn't do anything. Point the arrows in the right direction. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Are they all going to the right, it seems? Do you mean the right direction by like the right direction, or the correct way that they should be pointed? There's a little thing in there. It said I could interact, but it didn't do anything. And again, I'm going through here. It seems like it's been kind of a little buggy. I'd be happy if Damon... Yeah, Ultimate. That would be interesting if they did go in there and Damon was the awakened. That would be very interesting. So we're guiding travelers. Oh, so yeah, we're just kind of guiding travelers to the gate, I'm guessing. I'm assuming that's the correct way, because that would guide travelers to the gate. I'm wondering if I'm missing something with our acorn. Let me see if it'll interact. There we go. I guess this is exit. There we go. About the Temple Rift selection, if you did not spend the badges, does it go to next season or resets? It does reset. If you didn't spend any of your badges in there, yes, they do not roll over. They are completely wiped. It's been long since they released a new Hippo Celestial. Yeah, and I don't know if, Yoshi, that they're wondering, or if it's kind of filling the Hippo Celestial. It seems like they've kind of filled in that slot with the heroes that we're getting from the Draconic faction. I don't know if that's the reason. So, I mean, if they're dropping Hippos and Celestials and Awakens and Draconics and the regular heroes, it's insane. I mean, we thought it was really difficult to kind of keep up with everyone before with all of the heroes, the release schedule. It seems like with these heroes that have a lot higher rarity, that it's just gotten exponentially tougher. And I know Draconic heroes, and I get a lot of comments about the Draconic heroes. You know, there's a point. So that did open the Hellborn, which is the Awakened version, or the original version of Aziz, I think, is in there. Hey, Tassie and Pippa. What if they did Raku? What if we seen Raku in there? That would be pretty interesting to see if they did a version of Raku. So find Pippa. I'm assuming Pippa is going to be the acorn. That is my thought. Now seeing that it's Pippa. Nope, Pippa's not the acorn. So where's Pippa? Is Pippa... Pippa, it doesn't look like Pippa's over on this side. Where is Pippa? Got a giant mushroom, which that just says leave, which again, the leave's not doing anything. I think I might be kind of stuck here. The Wilder is lacking at the warrior type. Yeah, like I said, would you think Pippa's to the left? Oh, did Pippa appear after? There we go. Yeah, so Pippa's all the way around. And again, guys, I haven't looked at this. I haven't been through any of it. So there is Pippa. Uge's there. Hello, I'm Pippa. We got separated. Let's go find each other. So find Peggy. All right, so where is Peggy in this mess? I'm assuming maybe Peggy's at the very end. I didn't see Peggy in here. Did I miss Peggy somewhere? And I'm wondering if maybe Peggy's not in the zone. And I don't like that you can't scroll out. I don't like it. She's the acorn. Yeah, there you go. Finally, I see someone. Who is that speaking? So there we go. Thank you guys for your help. So she is the acorn. Lead the search for Raku. Thought Raku's over here. I'm going to say we already know where Raku is. I see you finally came out. No biting. What's going on here? And there is Peggy. Oh, so she turned into the acorn. All right, I get it. Meet up with Raku. There we go. There's our memorable moments. Congratulations and the traveling. Now you can explore the landmark quest. And I think I love to eat apples, not just an apple tree. It can show you visions. Bring up the fireworks. We'll go with some fireworks. Ride the bear. There we go. So we were riding a bear through the memorable moments. And there we go. Let's go ahead and interact with these. And I was hoping to hop on here and get all this done. Yeah, so the acorn. What's the best Wilder Tower team? I'm stuck on floor 177. For the Wilders, honestly, the best one that I can probably say is going through with Aethys and Orin, because of course Orin is going to provide a ton of crowd control in there for the Wilders. And of course, if you have any of the Awakened heroes, if you have Leica, if you have Solace, if you have any of the Awakened heroes, it's going to make a big difference for the Wilder Tower itself. But even thinking of your primary Wilder heroes, and it's literally just going through a ton of dialogue. There is the Nutty Raccoon. Thank you for guiding me. There's the Pippa Keepsake, which I don't think we've used any of those yet. But let me check out a star. A star showed up in here too. If you click the quest, doesn't it take you straight to it? I'm not sure if it does. That's a good question. You might be able to. Search for the lantern in Dreamwood. All right, so if you were a lantern, which that I guess is the lantern. Return. I don't know. If I click on the quest, does it show me? Oh, it shows you where I got to go. That makes it simple. I know some of these, a lot of players were always wondering exactly where you could go. So there we go. The 2, 2, 6, and 1. That's good. Let's go to the botanist part. Aethys plus Seal. Yeah, Aethys plus Seal is really good. So is Aethys plus the Ice Crown Primo because of the crowd control. Crowd control in there is kind of crazy. When you have the combination of both of those, there's no end to this forest. Let's see what the next landmark is, and there is Arden. I don't really pay a ton of attention to the story, which there we go. It's just, oh, it's even blocked by the vision. There is Solise. We can leave our quests up. It might make it a little bit easier. Very precious Mimic Flower. Find the Mimic Flower. This one, of course, doesn't give me the are these all the same? They look the same. And there's quite a few. Find the Mimic Flower. Wrong one. Oh, wrong one's going to make me fight. I'm not sure which one it is. And look, we got the Dreefs. Very cool. The mushroom is kind of hard. Is Raoul worth pulling in Hero Choice pulls? I want to save my diamonds for Celestials. It's the one in the back. Oh, it's the last flower. It's the one in the very back. So this would be the very back one. Impressive, we found it. I hope find Solise again. Okay, so I guess this is kind of round 2 of Solise. Let me pick up these chests, though. I always worry that I'm just going to forget some of these chests in here. So they said the mushrooms is pretty hard. Is that the one you were talking about? Yeah. So Primo said the mushrooms are pretty hard to do. 2 excessive mushrooms. Restore the mushroom garden. We got to like chop these down. Tiny mushroom, there's 1 in 1 of each column of the garden. So 1 in 1. Yeah, this is going to be a big question. Oh, how do I go through them? Or do I just got to click them from here? So there's 1 in 1. The second mushroom remove. First lane, third one. First lane, third one. Oh, I might have to do this one later. I'm not sure I'm going to... It's second mushroom removed. The second mushroom. So first lane, third one. First lane, third one. There we go. And then third one, last lane, last one. Maybe? Last lane, so first lane, third one, last lane, last one. Oh, second one. Let me try the second one. Is that the second one? It's funny trying to do instructions, or is it the last lane second one, which would be this one, right? I'm not sure if it just says complete or if we have to talk to her again. Second one on the top. No, so if we got that one, the second one on the top. Yeah, I might have to go through here and just kind of do this one later. I'll take a look. This one, the column, in each row, a column of the garden. Second row on the top. Yeah. Row 1, third column. And row 4, fourth column. 3, 4. So that would be this one. Bring back the top big one. There's the top big one. Is it this one? All right, so let's see. First lane, second small mushroom. There we go. First lane, second small mushroom. There we go. Perfect, guys. Thank you. Find Solise again. Where did Solise go this time? There's our chest. We could pick up that chest. Looks like we got some dreefs over here. It'll spread toxic spores. So catch the flower. So we got to catch the dreef, I'm assuming. Or it's just going to run away. Yeah, we got it. Thank you. Some of the puzzles, I think some of it has like a very logical reason or way to do the puzzle. And I don't feel like some of them don't really have. We'll get through here. I don't know if I'm supposed to just follow this dreef, but that's what it told me. Of course, I don't think there's going to be congratulations. Catch the fleeting flower. I got a chest over here, so I don't want to miss this one. And look at Leica. You talk about someone who can dominate the Wilder Tower. There's Leica. Leica will dominate the Wilder Tower. All right, so same thing. I think we're just going to have to chase this dreef, I'm assuming, till it runs into the other camp. Or if I went the other, well, yeah, we'll just chase it around. I mean, it only takes 2 seconds in battle to get through here. But like I was saying, I wanted to catch this up. Is Kalthin worth pulling at this point? Honestly, with Kalthin yellow, the problem that we see is when you think of Olgath, when you think of Kalthin, when you think of a lot of really the hypo heroes that we've seen in the past, is most of them have been very, very short-lived. That we built them out and they were kind of very short-lived. Even looking here at Valoris was very short-lived. Olgath was kind of short-lived. Kalthin would be one I would recommend if you don't have another hero to build for the hypo tower. Kalthin would be worth it. Kalthin does incredibly well in the hypo tower, but that is if you need them for the hypo tower. A lot of players don't need the hero for the hypo tower. But again, would it be worth it building the hero for the hypo tower? Yes, like I said, if you don't need the hero, yes, I definitely would. Let's see. So out of reach. Oh, I think we have to open the door back up. Yeah, they just teleport us around the door. Let me grab the chest. Yeah, is Kalthin worth E60? Yes. Now, the big reason, and you kind of have to consider it with the heroes that you have built. So Kalthin does incredibly well. Kalthin requires a high investment as a damage dealer. If you don't have Kalthin built out, you're not going to see as much effectiveness as you should from the hero, just kind of based on where the hero is built out and how the hero is built out. But again, if you need a hero for the hypo tower, Kalthin does incredibly well. What's going on, Marco? Is Raoul worth pulling? So Raoul, in my opinion, is worth pulling because Raoul we're going to see, and we've kind of started to see in a couple different places. And I feel like the way that he works, I feel like Raoul is going to be used a little. I'm going to do a couple more. I'm going to do some summons for Raoul, but I feel like he is going to be someone who is going to be used. That we are going to see it. Are we out of reach? Get the water. You want me to do it from the top? There it goes. Water the tree. Again, let's sprinkle some water. And a lot of these, I mean, as much as I like them, I mean, they're a little bit more interactive, which is good. It's doing a little bit more than we normally do in the regular AFK arena, which again, I kind of like it. How one kind of leads into another one. Whoa, I'm huge. Let me try another one. There's the tiny mushroom. And of course, I think we'll get our little sticker or badge for that. And you got to collect these all. If you want to get everything that we have in this game mode, you got to connect them. Kalthin is one of the only 3 reliable for grouping enemies. Yeah, and that's so utility wise, Kalthin, yeah, a little bit. And of course, when you think of Kalthin, Kalthin's being used in a lot of the towers, or excuse me, not the towers, the Curse Realm, the Nightmare Corridor, even PvP. Kalthin is still being used in all those. So that is it. It's an upgraded version. There you go, an upgraded version of Ezio. Yeah, Kalthin, and again, I worry though because Kalthin one has been out for a while. So we've actually had Kalthin and we built him up. We've had Kalthin for a while. And then also, what is it going to look like in the future? So do you have enough resources where you could get Kalthin? You could build them out to 1-star and not have to worry about heroes in the future releases, which again, we should see some more. I'm assuming some more heroes coming very soon. We know it should be this Tuesday that we'll actually have another one coming up. Don't know if it's going to be a regular hero, but also again, the question in the timing and what a lot of people have said is they're kind of wondering if it is going to be an awakened hero that we're going to be seeing. So I don't know if it is going to be an awakened hero. What are y'all running for the third team on Maulers? The Maulers are tough. Yeah. Normal Brutus definitely has a lot of crowd control. But when you start looking at some of the heroes, and this is where I kind of get worried because when you start looking at, I'm not even paying attention to the voice, but when you start looking at some of the heroes, some of the Maulers, especially the older Maulers, if you're going in there and building them up, I don't want you to do a really, really big investment on just being able to go in there in the Mauler Tower, which again is kind of difficult. So the gate is now open. I think that's what we needed for the cemetery. Visit the graveborn family. There we go. Aren't we missing the dad? I think we're missing Naru in here. So let's go ahead and interact. Hello, I'm Damon. I'm Lan. We're exploring. Is there something else? Particular troublesome wrath has showed up, which we know is Soren. I wish they would do something with Soren. It's kind of sad that literally they haven't done anything with the guild bosses. But if you checked out AFK Companions, I'm hoping that's going to be kind of the big choice. I hope it'll be another dragon. Marco, you're hoping for another Draconic hero. You are the first and only person I think that would ever wish that curse on anybody, because we know with the Draconic heroes, it's been kind of a nightmare and nobody can get them. That's the other problem, is nobody can get them. What's going on, Corey? Thank you for joining us for the stream. Yeah, Kalthin, like I said, when it also comes to the Hippo Tower, Kalthin is awesome. Kalthin is such a very, very high utility hero within there. But again, you have to have Kalthin built out a little bit with the engraving, with some other. And again, the big thing is with him, has to have the survivability. So if Kalthin, similar to Tamris, pulls everyone in and then dies, the effectiveness isn't there. You'll lose a lot of the effectiveness if you go in there and Kalthin just dies. So all dragons seem to flop. There's one or two that we're seeing really a lot of utility in. And if you guys have noticed, so right now with the addition of Melion and then with the addition of Lan, we have seen a lot more of a connection or a lot more utility out of Hildwyn. We've also seen a lot more utility out of Gwen. I feel like there's going to be a point where we're just making probably 5, an entire set, 5 heroes, 5 Draconic heroes in there. Yeah, Hildwyn is good in Treasure Scramble. Yes, for sure. So the big thing with Treasure Scramble and the big thing with Hildwyn is very similar. Same run with Gavis. So when we start looking at a lot of heroes, they have a lot of utility, and they're mages that have, again, a lot of utility within a bunch of different content. So it does work. They play and I'm holding memorial service, but they play the support role as a hero. Gwen destroyed AE and Hildwyn is great for PvP. 100% Corey, but I believe it is going to be in their entirety. Gwen will have to be nerfed before the global version of AE. It's going to have to be. It's kind of crazy, but yes, it is going to be. It is going to be. I've been trying to build out one. I know, Marco, and again, the cost, as they have to adjust it. They have to do something. It's silly, the cost of the Draconic heroes. So the manor is very posh. Find the lost graveborn. Uh-oh, who did we lose? Oh, we lost our pirate captain. That's okay, we'll get down there. Yeah, Hildwyn basically has 4 cheat deaths. What's going on, Echo? Thanks for joining us. Land carried me chapter 1 to 25 in a day. Yeah, and that's it. So when you think of land, and I think it's also, they're going to have to do something where if they're releasing new Draconic heroes, that they're giving us like the 50 emblems. I mean, very similar to what we started doing with the Awakened heroes. Yeah, we really do need. Is there a guide for meta hero engraving, like which goes to E65 or 67? There is a guide, FS. I can share you. It's a really big guide, and I believe it's written in Russian. I translated a lot of it, and I've been kind of going through and translating a lot. That's where a lot of the content for the tier list comes from. But yeah, they have what you specifically need. There's a lot in there that is that you really have to unpackage. I've been doing, and that's the reason why I did the engraving, why I did the YouTube shorts. The YouTube shorts show you exactly where to build them, kind of the meta, not only of the hero, but where the optimal build is at, based on the 65, the 67, and what skills, what points, essentially they go into. Absolutely. What do you recommend to get in the Time Temple for the first time? The Awakened version of Athalia. Athalia works very, very well. Athalia works very well even at a minimal investment. The SP effect on Athalia, again, works super well. Shemira, I feel like you need a little bit, you need a couple more copies. You're going to have to build. If I went in and I was building out a hero for the first time in the Temple of Time, I would probably do Athalia. You could do Leica. Leica would be another one, but yeah, I would do Athalia just because of when you're building Athalia out. Athalia's pretty broken. What's going on, Zoltimus? Thanks for joining us for the stream. Yeah, Athalia, like I said, first time I go for Athalia. I do. They won't just let people either buy the top performers. She isn't required to click. Yeah, so the big thing is with a lot of the heroes, I really caution because I don't want, every aspect of the game to be the players that have the heroes and the players that don't. And I think that's okay. That's really good when it comes to PvP. But when you start rolling it out, and it kind of is at that point where it's rolled out to every aspect in its entirety for, AFK Arena in general. I don't know. I feel like a lot of larger players, even a lot of players that I used to play with, have left. They've completely left AFK Arena, which is unfortunate. And I really worry, and that might be the reason for AFK Companions, is I really do worry about the longevity of attracting new players, but not only attracting new players, because of course, you can put a ton of money, you can run all the ads you want for AFK Journey and AFK Arena, but it's going to be having to really retain the new heroes, or retain the new players. If you get new players to the game, you have to keep them. Kalthin plus 60, yes or no? Yes. I would do yes, and the reason is utility-wise. Utility-wise, I absolutely would, and I did do Kalthin at a 60. It makes a big difference. It really does. So there's 4, there's 5, there's 6, there's 7, there's 8, there's 9, there's 10. So that unpacked a lot of stuff in here, guys, which of course gives us some more rewards. And I don't know, I'm going to have to check out these 2 bosses and actually take them out. Draconic Diary, I'm going to do that in a little bit, but I'm wondering if that catches us up. So we're finally caught up. Finally, Awakened Athalia is the first and only hero I've gotten up to E80. Yeah, the Awakened version of Athalia, it's still broken with how much burst damage that she can put out in such a crazy, crazy short window. It's pretty crazy. What comp could work in the campaign with Awakened Athalia? Pretty much any of them. If you have anyone to support, or anyone that is going to be supporting or boosting. So Awakened Athalia, 2 heroes that work incredibly well for a newer player. Number 1, Rosaline. Rosaline can actually follow the Awakened version of Athalia. Works super well because, of course, you're buffing up the Awakened version of Athalia. The other one that we see doing incredibly well with the Awakened version of Athalia is, I'm drawing a blank, crowd control. So if you look at crowd control, anyone who is going to give them, like Amelia works really well, just because of the aspect of bringing the energy regeneration. But I was thinking of a hero, Ivan. Ivan's the other one. As a newer player to AFK Arena, when you think of a hero to build, Ivan and Athalia are broken. Ivan and Rem, Ivan and Rimuru, Ivan and, the Awakened version of Belinda. there are so many heroes in here that are super, super broken when it comes to the ability to buff other heroes within different stages. It is very broken. Let me hop in here. I want to do a couple summons in here because of course it is the reset. It is the brand new week. So let's hop in. I want to do some summons. Also want to hop in here, and I believe the Misty Valley is up as well. That's why I said earlier, guys, we need to get and really catch up on a ton of content that we have. I'm stuck now because of low level, only 551 in chapter 51. Yeah, Echo, you might have to focus and really knock out some of the levels. I did for a while. Now in here, of course, wish lists, we're starting to run out of heroes in their entirety, but I'm hoping we get some awakened heroes in here. And again, a lot of players, well, I've heard, rumored that you can get Draconic heroes from regular summons in here, which I don't know. I have never, ever seen it, but I definitely still do want to. Awakened Athalia felt like Awakened Lucius. Needed a team around them. Yeah, Antandra is another one where when you look at and we'll look at this in just a minute, the Awakened version of Antandra, very similar to the Awakened version of Lucius. If you're running them in the campaign Zolthamus, they're going to get wrecked. They do get wrecked, and they do get wrecked very fast. And the reason being level deficiencies. They cannot survive the level deficiencies. They get absolutely pummeled. If you don't have a team built around them, they will get demolished. And they do get demolished very quickly. There's another copy of Adrian and Elise. So when you're going in there, yes, you need a lot of support. On Tundra, I put back row, which works very, very well, having the hero back row. But overall, yes, they do. Dragons are so expensive. Yes, dragons are stupid expensive. And like I said, I'm almost 100% sure that they are going to nerf Gwen when it comes to AE. They have to. They have to do something, guys. You can't have it that segregated. And we've seen it with Belinda. We've seen it with a couple other ones that they went ahead and they nerfed and they adjusted the hero. There's a double right there, guys. There is Lady Simona, which she is almost done at this point. Common Scrolls, just hoping Celestial or Hypo. There's a copy of Raoul, which we need, I think, one more. I think we are one copy short of Raoul at this point. Maybe that is it. It is Lady Simona again. Diamonds we're going to go ahead and save, but let's go in for Lightbearers. Let's see if we can get Raoul. Yeah, they absolutely get wrecked. They do. It's kind of crazy. Getting a Draconic on normal summons is a myth. That's what I thought. But looking at, because D2 said that he got one. So that's the reason, Primo, is there's some players, okay, when they're dropping in there, when we see some, some different things. Yeah, definitely a question. When some of the higher players or some of the players that truthfully I really do respect, D2 said he got a Draconic hero in here and he wished that he got the screenshot from it. But yeah, absolutely didn't. Remember when Ainz came out? Yes, Corey. When Ainz came out, broken. Literally, Ainz broke the game. If you guys were here for that. And same with Lucretia. When Lucy came out, Lucy broke AFK Arena in its entirety. It was just crushed it. Literally every single aspect of AFK Arena. There were a few heroes that have just dominated it. And really, they've done such a crazy job of dominating the amount. Now, of course, in here, we're still looking for Milion. Milion is one that we're looking for, but I also want to pull, and I need one more copy of Raoul down here. We pulled one, we need one more copy. And again, I was kind of questioning where he's going to be used, if he's going to be used. And it seems like the answer for that is yes, we're probably going to see him in a couple different places, but I want to see if we might be able to. It's going to be really, really cheap to try to pull one single copy of him. Maybe, and we do, very nice. That is the streaming look, guys. There is the copy we need of Raoul to get that engraving up there, so that will actually add the one more copy that we need, giving him his very first and probably only star that we might put on him. That's where we'll get him. I got Milion in normal summon. Yeah, and again, Atlas, that's what I was thinking. My guildmate got Gwen from a regular summons. I have the screenshots. Yeah, put them in Discord, because again, that's what I was wondering. Again, there's a lot of players, over on Discord, Reddit, whatever, that I don't put a lot of time and effort into. But when viewers, when people that are always in my streams, yes, there we go. So we do see it. Do you recommend to ascend Brutus to Mythic as an early game player? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. The reason because when you look at Brutus, Brutus will work early game. You only need one single copy of Brutus, Kins. You only need one single copy. It is going to give you the immunity. There is absolutely no reason to build the hero up any further. There's going to be a point where you get them for free. Yeah, you might do a plus 20 signature item on there. But overall, when you start looking at the hero, no. There is not any hero. And of course, look at this, guys. We have 16,000 engraving mats. I'm going to go ahead just like I do with all my heroes. Take Raoul to a 30, which is going to give the locked target takes increased damage from Raoul and his allies. That is right. The damage is going to go up that he's doing. Then, of course, the 60, when taking fatal damage, he becomes immune to it and no hold bars against the attacker. And again, this is kind of situational because the way that I see it with these, looking at the Curse Realm Nightmare Corridor, where we're probably going to use them, the fatal damage in there usually doesn't happen in those game modes because, of course, when you start looking at being on an even kill with teams. So I'm going to save, and I'm not going to build him out to the 60 engraving, but the 30 makes a big difference because, of course, it goes more damage to the allies, which is exactly what we want to. Yeah, Ainz and Lucretia, those were the days that it absolutely destroyed. All right, so let's hop in here. Dragon Isle. Every time I go in here, I have to sign. Now, of course, we're only putting Melion in here for the simple fact this is who we want copies of. And we get nothing out of there. No highborns. We have, what, 7 more? And I have just been burning through these, and I can't even tell you how many diamonds that we have literally just dumped into this Dragonforge right here. And, of course, Gorgie. We need copies of Gorgie to build them up further. But I wanted to see if we could get copies of Melion first because we still need 2 more. We still need 2 more copies of Melion, and those 2 additional copies will give us enough to get them up to Ascended. Then, of course, in here, we are still going for Gwen. This is the one where we are going to Gwen. Is there a guide for meta hero engraving? Who to take to 65 or 70? Like I said, FS, there is. I can share it with you over on Discord. Raoul might need the 40. Alo, I hope that is not the case. I don't want to do another 40. Because we did Adrian and Elise, it's super expensive. It is very, very expensive. But let's see, guys. Now we need 3 copies of Gwen. And also remember, when it comes to Hildwyn, we are still getting 1 more free copy of Hildwyn. Don't know if there's going to be anything going forward from there. But if we get that 1 more free copy, that still leaves us 2 copies short on Hildwyn to get the engraving. But right now we are 3 copies short of Gwen to get the engraving, and Lan just doesn't exist because we're never going to build the hero for an extended amount of time. So 35 in here. Fingers crossed we get 1 copy, guys. Gotta bring the streaming like. Are we getting 1 more free? Yes, we're getting 1 more. So 3 of 4 was the last one with the Abyssal Expedition rank. Was the last one Echo. So there should be 1 more. That is in the books. Let's see what we can do here. And I think it is. And it is another one. Guys, last time we pulled 1 copy. If you remember last time, this means that is back-to-back copies of Gwen, but that takes to 2. Please share it with me, Hippo, my Discord. Yeah, I definitely will. Let me look at it, FS. And of course, yes, we get 1. We need 2. Streaming luck. Hate you in a good way. Yes. So we got 1. Let's see. Could we do it again? Nope, just a regular right there. But that is back-to-back copies, guys. And again, no yellow right there. All right, that leaves us 5 more. Could we do 1 more? 2 copies away. Again, this is just kind of grinding it, and it's so just tedious to do this. Because again, there's almost nowhere to get these insignias, and it takes forever. And I already have Gwen at a 40. If you remember when we built out Gwen, so there's our bonus copy. We took her to a 40. We built her with the furniture. She actually has 10, I think maybe 11 furniture. I have everything to engrave her, but we need 2 more copies. And then, like I said, with Hildwyn, we're getting 1 more free copy. So with him, we need 2 more copies. And then, of course, Lan, you're kind of SOL when it comes to Land. I didn't think they'd give Hildwyn free. I don't know anyone but Mega Whales that have built dragons. Yeah, and that's it, Corey. That is exactly where it is. If you're not putting, and literally, so when you think of cost, so think about this for a minute, guys. Really wrap your head around this. So when you look at the Draconic heroes, so even looking down here is looking at a hero like Lan. if you're going in there and you don't have anything, just like what Echo said, what Corey said, if you don't have any copies of land, going in there and summoning, it is about $1,200 for the hero. That is right. I said it correctly. When you look at the price of the Draconic emblems, the average that we've gotten, and of course they've done the math, they've run it a couple different ways on Analytica. It is about $1,200 to get a copy of land. Now, is land going to be used? How long for the land verdict? Land is going to be used. Land is already being used. When you look at a support hero, the way that they built Lan is unfortunately a hero. She is going to be used in a couple different places. And again, when you start looking at the larger whales, Lan is already in there. When you think of taking Gwen, and I mean, Gwen is almost to 30 billion here. Lan is already being used. It's kind of crazy, but yes, $1,200 is the price tag that you have for the heroes. Yeah, and that's it. For one hero. Yes, hyped. It is one hero. So again, when you think of looking at the Dragon Isles, so it has been taking, I believe, around 50. I think that's where it was like 52, I think they've been saying. So if it's taking 52 right here, you're talking one copy of the hero based on 52 Draconic insignias being used. It's $100 per copy. So when you start looking at the multitude of copies, yes, that is about $1,200. And again, that's been about the average, because unfortunately in here, there's no way to do it with diamonds. And then of course, you're talking, it's $1.50 for every one of these emblems, minus the diamonds. So maybe if you want to really split hairs, maybe $142 for every emblem. It's so expensive. It is so expensive to build the Draconic heroes, which is, again, the reason they need to tone it down. Now, one way they could do this, and this is something that a lot of players have said, put them in here. You know what? Between having the diamonds, between having, the Stargazer scrolls, put the Draconic faction in here. I know it's still going to be a struggle. It's still going to be difficult to get them up to the Ascended version like we did with Hilduin. But if I could add more stars out of here with Hilduin, it would make a really big difference. Now, if you've noticed, and I'm actually going to cover it a little bit later, on the test server, we actually have the new event that is going on, which is, and I'm wondering if it's showing up on here, right here, Celestial Isles. So this is going to be up tonight with the Celestial Isles. Celestial Isles have, and if you have not seen or did not notice over on the test server, the Celestial Isles have Melion in there. So they put a Draconic hero into the Celestial Isles. And of course, thinking of the Draconic faction, they put Melion in there as a choice to get, but Melion is priced at the Celestials and Hypo price. So Celestials and the Hypo heroes are at 450 of your Celestial Isles for the exchange. And of course, like I said, Melion is in there for the exchange as well. And Melion is in there at 450 for the exchange as well, which again puts the Draconic heroes, the base Draconic heroes, on the same faction or the same really realm that we have with our Celestials and our Hypos. So again, that's kind of crazy to think that, yeah, that some of those, yeah, they do. You don't have to be competitive with them. You don't have to build a lot of them. But of course, when it comes to some game modes, if you want to be the best in slot, if you want to be the top tier in AFK Arena, you have to buy them. And that's it. And of course, with what we spend, that would cover a year of what I put into AFK Arena. So kind of crazy, but yeah, overall. And then of course, we have copies of Pulina. We have a couple copies of other ones, which honestly, looking at the hero here, we have what? We have 2 already. If we can get 1 free out of the event, that leaves us 1 short to getting Ascended. But again, we need 2 more copies in there to go ahead and build the hero up a little bit further. So again, the cost, guys, the cost of these are kind of crazy. Elder Tree, look at that. 219. I think I have enough to build this Elder Tree up in its entirety to 219. And again, we finally have gotten to the max. So when you think of the Elder Tree, guys, it took me 5 years to max out the Elder Tree. We have been playing this account for 5+ years. At this point, it has taken 5 years to really, and very similar to everything else, we have just been chasing the Elder Tree forever. But I mean, when you think and even calculate the essence that it takes to build it this high, yes, it is incredibly, just something that just over time, it's kind of the nonchalant, tedious effort to go through there and build it all out on a regular basis. But yeah, the Elder Tree is finally maxed, and I'm getting enough resources now that I can actually just go ahead and keep that build. So there is 6,000 right there. Then, of course, we do get some resources out of there, some free resources, which I like. I am at Mythic Gwen with 1 copy is free to play. Yeah, so the problem, Ghost, is I love it. Having Mythic Gwen, but the thing with Mythic Gwen is, of course, you do need 6 more copies to get to Ascended. With the Mythic Gwen, they gave us a lot more copies, or they gave us a lot more insignias with some of the heroes earlier, but now, where are you getting them from? That's the problem. You can't get those from anywhere. You can't really get the insignias. Even looking at a couple different places, you might get 10 here or there, but big picture, when you think of a normal week, you can only get a couple. You're so limited, and most of the stores that do carry a lot of the insignias, where again, kind of getting them in bulk, you can only do them every 30 days. So even like here, you're talking the Dream Store, every 30 days, you can only get 10 of them. If you look at a week-to-week basis, there's almost none. They need to revamp the barracks. They need some more adding. And of course, again, if you checked out AFK Companions, there's a lot of stuff they adjusted in there. There's a lot of stuff they changed, which is going to make it a lot easier. I'm still not there yet. I think I'm about 20 levels short on each branch compared to the trunk. Yes, Corey. And the problem is you're literally just going to be chasing it. That's what I did for probably about the last year and a half, as I maxed out 3 branches. And then I started building those out. Does Rimuru require E60? No, not at all, Martin. Rimuru will work without the E60. Even here, I think I have Rimuru. I think I did build Rimuru to a 60. But when you look at the engraving and even looking at the skill, named allies also receive enchant effects equivalent to a certain percent of Rimuru. So they'll get the named allies, which I don't think the naming happens automatically. And again, is it required? No. It's not required. I ran Rimuru at a 30 for quite a while. Even if you build it, I believe a 37, if I remember. Are you planning on doing shorts for the newer heroes? Villanelle, I did. Raoul, I did not. I will. I will do them all. I was actually thinking about it today. I think I'm going to go in there and knock out a few of those so we can actually take them and get them all caught up. Again, I just need time, as it's crazy. But yes, the time aspect of it. Don't forget to press the thumbs up. Don't forget to press the like, guys. I hope they update the pets. So Primo, again, I don't know if they're going to be updating the pets like companions. And again, I still have a lot of really, really big question marks on what they're going to be doing with companions. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to be doing with companions. I don't know what it's going to look like, what the rollout is going to look like. If it's going to be incorporated in an AFK arena, is it going to be its own thing? Is that how they're going to do beasts? Even the beasts that they had in AFK Companions, are they rolling those beasts out to AFK Arena? I mean, there were 2 new beasts or 3 new beasts. I think there were 3 new beasts in there, which again, I don't know if. Again, it's question marks. There are so many question marks with how they're and if they're going to do it. It'll be interesting. Yeah, like I said, shorts I'll do. I will definitely knock out the shorts. It's something that I've been meaning to. I got to sit down, and it takes a little while to record, edit all of those with the shorts, but it will definitely be there. Yeah, the Elder Tree takes time, guys. And we built it out. If you guys remember earlier Elder Tree, we built it out. Now, of course, we still do need more to the Field of Stars. There's a lot of stars that are not illuminated in the Field of Stars. So I'm hoping we get a lot more, essentially a lot more out of the Field of Stars. A lot more of the arcane staffs. Number 1, we need out of the Field of Stars. The Draconic heroes, we need more out of the Field of Stars. The methodology, again, behind kind of summoning them. There's a lot of stuff they could do. And they could do it to make it even a lot more smooth. We need Demia and we need Raoul. I'm not sure where Raoul ended up after we still have to get him some higher signature. Is Awakened Entendre worth building? I like the Awakened version of Entendre. Is she worth building? Yes. But that being said, if you have the other Awakened heroes, there's a lot of other heroes, Sam, that are really a priority above and beyond the Awakened version of Athalia, or excuse me, Entendre. The Awakened version of Entendre is in the SS tier. Utility-wise, in a couple different game modes, she does well. However, with her doing well in those game modes specifically, she does require a high build out. That is part of the very, very difficult part of the hero itself. Is Entendre requires a very high build out to have the effectiveness of the hero. If you're not willing to really invest and almost over invest in the hero, it's not going to be there. You're not going to be able. The game has so much stuff. It's just not being looked at. Yes, Corey, 100%. Even like the mini games. The mini games are pretty cool. But now at this point, there's a lot of places where, even thinking of like the Peaks of Time, they need to revamp the Peaks of Time. There's a lot of stuff in the Peaks of Time, honestly, including like the older peaks. Okay, save those for new players. The the class specific artifacts, those just need wrecked. I mean, just get rid of those. Win without any mage or support in the formation. We can do the same. We can come in, we can drop in our warriors. But yeah, there's a lot of areas that, I mean, as a player, and even thinking, let's say I was a new player to AFK Arena, if I went in and I farmed up and really went through and grinded out all the class-specific artifacts, well, collections are released very, very early in AFK Arena. There's not a big reason. You would just be farming and wasting all your time on something you're never going to use. Is it better to first ascend first, Rowan or Jerome? Jerome, 110% Jerome. Rowan works incredibly well with the signature item. Doesn't have to be ascended. Mythic is first, but yeah, Jerome is total priority. Even thinking of tier list, Jerome is absolutely one of the top tier ones that you want to build. Jerome is broken, and again, it's how Jerome works. Very similar to Palmer, to Lavatoon, to Demia. They are the heroes that have and are being used everywhere. I got Awaken, Shemira, Belinda, Athalia, Solise, Eugene built. I wasn't sure either Sophia or Leica. Honestly, out of those two, Leica is higher on the tier list, but I do like Sophia as well. Now the question becomes, with we knowing that the Awaken version of Entendre came out, that was a couple releases ago. Sim, I might even wait to see what the next Awaken hero is and who the next Awaken hero is. If it is a hero that is not a big priority, you could double back and build Leica or Sophia. But overall, I would wait because, again, we're very, very close to the next release that we're going to see of an Awaken hero. Again, we got the Draconic heroes. We've gotten a lot of new heroes, and I feel like the release is going to be right out there. Reward revamps for most game modes. For example, Draconic event is 7 days of work. Rewards are as bad as a regular voyage. Yeah, Alfred us, 100%. Totally agree with it. And I don't like how they split the rewards. That's something that has been kind of a pet peeve of mine. I know I've talked about it before, but when it comes to them splitting rewards, and was it Oku in here? I think it was Oku. But when they keep adding more stuff, because even now, Alfred us, so thinking about what you're talking about, revamping the rewards or giving us more rewards in different game modes, because now that they added Milion into the event that is coming up tonight, that means you're taking away the ability to not only get rewards, getting your red chest in there, getting your engraving mats, but also if you're looking to build a Celestial or a Hypo in there, they're taking that away because now you have to make a decision between getting Milion or getting the new hero because the rewards that they're giving us with in-game modes are not enough. It's not enough. I remember how mad I was when I couldn't beat the artifact stages. There were so few. Yeah. When you started, the guild specific artifacts, or when you started, if you're talking about the early voyages, they were tough. Frontline must be warriors. So let's drop another warrior in here. Who do we got? So all warriors. There we go. 2 warriors in the front. My Palmer gets nuked so much despite having invested in him. Probably the other problem since he pulls aggro from being too big. Yeah, it definitely can be, Corey. So where Palmer shines, and most of the time Palmer is being still run with the Awakened version of Belinda, because the Awakened heroes are broken. Their damage, their scale of damage is just on an entirely different level. So if you have a really, really big Palmer, that could pose a problem, because if there's anyone that targets, the highest attack rating or the highest combat rating, you're going to be burned right there. Will there be a Draconis Tower? Probably right after they right after they release our dimensional tower that we're still waiting on. It's been like 2 years on the dim tower that we've been kind of waiting on. So all heroes must be the same class. And unfortunately, I would love to see a Draconic tower. I would love to see another tower, or honestly a revamp of the current towers to incorporate some other things. But yeah, the Draconic tower I would love to see, as well as a tower for our dimensionals. Now here we have 6 more days. Guys, so we are caught up in this as well. Again, we've been kind of grinding this out. And I also want to see here, they need to put more Draconic mats. We need some insignias in here. We need something. And honestly, if they took this, I would love to see it, that they just built it out for every level. So going in here, because even thinking, you know, where this, I believe, is 54, I wish they just added a tier in here, a loot tier within the treasure trove, just based on your campaign progression. So if I'm at right now, you know, chapter 64, there was a loot up to 64, and it progressively just got more loot as you made further progression into AFK Arena. That would give a reason. So a lot of players right now, when it comes to pushing chapters, when it comes to making a lot of progression in here, it stinks because there's not a reason to. And that's the reason why a lot of players don't push campaign progression, which we finished 16. We also finished 20. But the incentive to push the campaign progression is not really there. And again, I feel like the adventure mode, the campaign, is a major key point of this game. And it's something they totally ignore. And of course, biggest pet peeve that I have right now that I'm really sticking with is the guild bosses, because we've seen what they can do. And they did it in AFK Companions, if you caught the videos, what they could do with guilds, what they could do with guild hunts, how they could incorporate all of this. Leaving this for 5 years is bullshit, excuse my language, but it's just absolute BS that they have left this for 5 years for the guild hunt and everything else. There are so many different things they could do. And again, thinking of the engagement of guilds, thinking of bringing players, the experience we're seeing with new players, this needs to be revamped, and it should have been revamped years and years ago, because this would made a very big difference with how players really interact with the game, and how really how they could have changed it. It could have been so much better, and it still can be so much better. They've already built it, which is, again, kind of the stupid point where I do kind of get stuck, because they've already literally built it in AFK Companions. If they integrated that aspect in here and got rid of this junk, if you don't know, guys, I don't go in chat ever. So if you message me, and I know there's a lot of players, can I ask some questions? I don't ask and I don't answer anything in chat ever. If you ever want to reach me, there's a link down below for Discord. I do not go in the chat. I do not open the chat. Even if this chat button was gone, I would never know. Yeah, that's why I say the devs are not doing anything. Yeah, and I'm wondering, Corey, where the focus is. And that, again, is kind of a question that I don't get, you know, I don't get much of a response to, is what are they working on? What's coming? Are they literally just going to keep churning new heroes out, which again is just the same thing that we've been kind of seeing over and over and over again? What are they looking at? What is the future of AFK Arena? And that is yet to be seen. As a free-to-play, I only focus on the campaign towers and Twisted Realm. Yeah, you can still do well, Primo. So when I had my free-to-play account, I was staying under 20, usually about the 10% to 20%. You can actually do pretty well in a bunch of different game modes. And in addition to that, Primo, is unfortunately, as players do continue to exit, or, you know, players that leave AFK Arena, especially the larger whales, you will automatically get advanced, and you will automatically be much higher in the rankings because there's less players that are playing. So again, that's another thing really to remember, because you can go through and you can continue making a lot of progression. Are the artifacts useless? Early game, no. The artifacts are not useless, guys, but of course, when it comes to the artifacts, we use them in the Thorn Cheese, but even to the point of where you do not have collections built, the artifacts are going to fill in that void until you get collections built. And of course, guys, it goes out to Jan. Congratulations, Jan, gifting of the membership. We do this every time we do the stream. Yeah, focus on the Twisted Realm, or the Nightmare Corridor, the Cursed Realm. Focus on those. Honestly, Primo, you will do incredibly well in those game modes. If you're pushing like you normally should through, you know, through content, through regular progression, you will do very, very well to go in there and really make it a focus. And again, if some of the bigger whales, if some of the bigger players do leave AFK Arena, you're going to get an instant bump in the ranking. Even looking here, we're at 156. I know 17 hours, but 155 is where we're sitting right now looking at our leaderboards. We are getting Draconis insignias, which is the big reason why I pushed this. Literally is really one of the biggest reasons why I focused on this so much is getting Draconis insignias. Yeah, the mythic furniture scroll is good, but overall, building out and giving me the ability to get more copies of Draconic heroes makes a big difference in there. And to show they aren't serious on the future, they gave us common scrolls. Yeah, I didn't understand that either. With the release of a major hero, they give us common scrolls. Again, I don't understand some of the logic behind it, and I don't even know what, again, kind of what they're planning. I don't know, big picture. I mean, there might be game changing. It might be the integration of companions into AFK Arena. If it's going to roll out, you know, with a very similar game or some of the modes that people are loving, there could be a lot coming. There could be a lot coming down the pipeline, and they have to do it, honestly, if they want to keep this game alive for the next 5 years. Yeah, they totally need a lot more to keep it going. New region 8 in Nightmare Corridor makes things easier. And yeah, it does. That's a big thing is when you start, again, kind of seeing the restructuring of some of it and just, again, loot-wise, they got to do something. They got to make it a little bit easier. Even here, we're on level 912. Guys, we're at 1.5 trillion with the combat rating. Creeping up on 2. So we are really getting there, 1.52 trillion, which is crazy. But all right, guys, so that is going to do it. We're just a little bit over 2 o'clock right here, but that is going to do it for Sunday's live stream, guys. It was awesome being able to, and I know the content was nothing new going through here in the Summer Odyssey, but I knew I had time and I knew had to really commit to going through here and burning through a lot of this content, catching it up in the Summer Odyssey so we can go through and finish that out, getting all of the events caught up. We know there are more events that are actually coming tonight. Mystic Star Zone, of course, is going to be registration. Celestial Isle is going to be up. And then, of course, there's going to be a lot more. The permanent Abyssal Expedition is coming up as well. So it's really cool. And again, guys, thank you guys for joining me. We have 2 more Awakened Heroes that's coming. Draconic Heroes, we don't know exactly what it's going to look like in the future. So save your stuff. If you haven't started building a hero at this point, I would probably just save my resources, save my time emblems, see exactly who's coming for those last Awakened Heroes. I got Iran as my first Ascended hero. Who should I swap him with? Honestly, Darksider, Orin will work incredibly well. If you're talking about Orin early game works very well. You could swap with Ivan. Ivan would actually be a pretty good swap in there. If you got either Rimuru or if you got Shuna, they would work pretty well. Or also if you go in here and of course Garrison, if you pick up Rem is still super strong in there. But even if you do the trial version of Lan in combination with Ivan, if you have Ivan built, it's going to make a big game-changing difference, honestly, for progression-wise. But all right, guys, again, that's going to do it for Sunday's live stream. Thank you guys for joining us. All the love and support. It's kind of crazy. We're 38 going on 39,000 subscribers already, which, again, is really cool. Finance channel is, again, kind of booming. Also, the Guild of Guardians channel, playing that crypto NFT games. It's pretty cool as well. So, all right, guys, again, that's going to do it for today's live stream. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.